situation, fine. I said, but, don't take it down to the last 30 seconds of the game until we decide to pull it out, because it's, a little bit of stress that you don't need in your life. But, somehow these kids keep finding a way to get the job done, and, I mean, we're happy about that. But, I told them it's also okay to not put yourself in that, not get in that situation to begin with where we have to come back. But, that's just how games work out sometimes, I guess.
Coach, you're 9-3. You in Marshall to take on the number 2 ranked Vikings. I know you're looking at film. You're trying to put a game plan together. And I guess when you start preparing for Valley, you have to look at the defense first of all, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the statistics and the rankings. I mean, I believe they're the number one ranked defense in the country. And I mean, if you survive to this point of the season, you're going to run into teams that are going to be, highly ranked in a lot of different areas and be really good. I mean, you don't make it to the final 8 in the country and not be a solid football team. And obviously Missouri Valley is. And, defensively, they're going to, pose some problems for us offensively. But, it's one of those things where, we're excited to have the opportunity to play, not only play a program like, Missouri Valley, but to play a defense that's ranked, the top defense in the country, and, see what type of game plan and see what type of effort we can put forth against them.
Coach, I guess after that win the other day, your kids are just sky high, and it's going to be, I know for you, just a fun trip, isn't it? Just to come on over and continue to play right now. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, and people around here are still excited about it, and you have to really keep the kids grounded, because basically, what we did last Saturday doesn't mean anything other than the fact that our reward for beating the number 1 team in the country is that we get to play the number 2 team. So we've got to get ourselves, and we get back on the practice field today, and we got to get ourselves grounded and refocused on what we got to do this week. And because the fact that we beat Georgetown last week really doesn't matter, other than the fact that it got us to this week. So we got to prepare, prepare even better than what we did last week, and get ourselves ready to make that trip on Friday and come up to Marshall.
Well, Coach, we look forward to meeting you, and again, continued success. Congratulations to this point, and look forward to a good ball game. Thanks, Coach.
Well, thank you so much. We're looking forward to coming too.
All right, that's Chris Elliott. He is the head coach of the Wildcats of Bethel University out of McKenzie, Tennessee. We're just about 18 minutes away from kickoff. When we return, we're going to talk it over with the Vikings leading tackler, Michael Barnes, one of the safeties, and Andrew Human, who had one of the big plays of the year, a fumble recovery for a touchdown way back in Game 2 against Mid-America Nazarene. They'll be my guests next on the Viking pregame show. We're back in 30 seconds.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Diane Dudenhofer. A job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our office at 170 West Court Street for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
On a pregame show, we visit now with Michael Barnes and also Andrew Human, two of the all-conference players on this defense. Michael, we'll start with you. First of all, congratulations on all-conference.
Thank you, Mr. Q. Thank you very much. It was a very, very humble season. Came here working very strong, very hard, and I'm just glad to make all-conference this year for my first time.
Andrew, how about you? Boy, it's got to be exciting to hear that news. You're an all-conference player.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. This whole season's been awesome. Everybody, the team bonding is at an all-time high, and we're glad to do good for our coaches and fans.
Michael, you're from the state of Texas. How'd you get to Valley?
That's a little short, long story. Coach Barry Ray found me and a couple other players at Central High School. He told me if I want to win, come to Valley. So, I've been winning programs all my life, so I chose to come to Valley and come play football here.
Now, Beaumont, Texas, a few players from here there. Some more from your high school?
Yes, sir. I have Keith O'Neill, the running back, was here with me. We had some players came back here in the past. Nigel Dahl, the running back from last year's team, he was also from my school. And that's so far it right now, but we're hoping to get more players up there.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a great season so far, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. It's been a real great season. It's been really fun, just being around the team. We're more family-oriented, and the team bonding, like Andrew said, it's just great. It's a great atmosphere around here.
Andrew, how'd you get to Valley?
I visited a couple of schools, and I really liked the coaches here and the facilities here, and I just picked Valley. I wanted to win. So.
And it is turned that you are on a winning program now. It's been a fun ride so far, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been awesome. Yeah.
You are the leading tackler on this team, Mr. Barnes. All 4 defensive backs made one team or another all conference. That's a heck of a deal.
Yes, sir. I know Coach Denny Harm's going to be very proud of us to have his starting lineup to have all conference players. But, yeah, that's really my passion. I feel like I have Tyler Davis on my side and Quentin Black on the other side, so it's kind of hard to get noticed. So I take very pride in making tackles on the team.
That's a good unit back there, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It's a real great unit. We're all really close, and we all hang out together, even on and off the field. So it's more we connect more with each other on the field just because we hang out with each other off the field and stuff like that.
Andrew's kind of the same way for you linebackers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We had a lot at the beginning of the season. We had a lot of people come in with didn't really have very much game experience, but they really stepped up and filled the gaps that we needed to fill to be successful.
The big play for you, you'd probably go back to game 2, wouldn't you?
Yeah, mid-am when I knocked that pass down and took it back for 6. That was pretty incredible.
You showed a little speed, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to bust out the 4.5 on that one.
But those are highlight plays, but consistency is the key to this defense.
Yes, it is. And we Coach Rowe puts us in positions to make big plays, and that's just what we try to do for him.
All right, Michael Barnes. This week we take on, and here we are in the quarterfinals. I know that goal is play 3 more football games, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We want to make it all the way to nationals, but coaches are making us keeping us humble, making us take it one day, one game at a time. So we played Bethel this week. We want all our fans to come out here and come support us on the Thanksgiving weekend. We just want to win. We want to keep winning, keep on rolling.
The defense had a great game last week. 5 turnovers, but our defense, for the most part, did a heck of a job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The defense was we took it upon ourselves that defense wins championships. So even though we played well during the regular season, we want to step our game up even more, knowing that we can throughout the playoffs.
Andrew, how about you? There's a turnover in this offense. Our offense scores over 40 points a game, so they help the defense too. But when it turn it over, your unit goes back on the field. What's the mindset?
Most of the time we're really relaxed. We're not too worried about what's going on special teams or on offense. We just like to do our thing and get off the field as quickly as possible.
Gentlemen, thanks for the visit. Good luck today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Michael Barnes and Andrew Human, our guests, both all-conference players. 24 Vikings made some kind of got some kind of recognition as far as all-conference, including Paul Troth as the Coach of the Year. So
they deserved it. I mean, they deserved every bit of that, Ken. I mean, they walked through the conference undefeated, beat everybody in the conference by at least 2 touchdowns. So I don't know if there's ever been any team any more dominant in the conference than what the Vikings were this year. And I think as we watch, we realize this is a special group of young men. I think the thing that still amazes me is last week they turned the ball over 5 times, scored 56 points. And this isn't against a weak sister. This is against Ottawa, a team that won their conference championship and had won 8 games in a row coming in. So that just shows how talented this Viking team can be if things go right.
And again, Bethel, the team that knocked off number 1 last week in a heck of a game, 45-44. Aaron Christensen is the offensive coordinator of the Vikings, and he'll be our guest next on the Viking Sports Network.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, yeah.
You couldn't hardly hear none of the players when you interviewed them. I had to bury as far as I could.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see. It may have been part of the interview, too. So, okay.
All right.
Water. Paula will design a one-of-a-kind outdoor paradise you'll enjoy for years to come. Call Paula at Springwater Greenhouse and Landscaping today at 886-3700, online at gospringwater.com, and on North Highway 65 in Marshall.
Aaron Christensen, offensive coordinator, joins us. And, Coach, before we talk about Bethel, congratulations on just a great season of this part. It's been fun, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great time. We're real proud of our guys, and hopefully we can get one more this week.
Now we look at all-conference teams. A lot of guys made all-conference. You've got to be pleased with that. And they were all very deserving.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And when you have, as many teams as we do in the conference, getting on those all-conference teams, it's a big deal. So.
Your offense averages over 40 points a game, 47 points a game here at home. So this team can put some points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate to have short fields all year too because of our defense. So, but no, we've been able to get touchdowns instead of field goals this year, and I think that's made a big difference.
The running game, Xavier Stewart, Lenoris Dukes, my goodness, and then Keith O'Neill when he comes in, you've got 3 guys that can handle it.
Oh yeah, we can put any of those guys in, and we expect to do well with them in. So. We're happy with our backs back.
And it's every week it seems like another one has the big game. There's been a couple weeks Lenoris didn't run too much, but last week he had 4 touchdowns.
Right, yeah. Lenoris had a great game last week. A couple weeks Xavier did. I think Keith had a player of the game for us one week. So, yeah, we got 3 guys back there who can do the job.
Receiving, about the same thing. Mikal Johnson's really coming on. Of course, Seth Martinka, we know what he can do. Benson, Owens, well, you've got quite a core there.
Yeah, we're able to rotate those guys in, and, it's not a thing where we're trying to get the ball to one guy or another. Sometimes it's just, one guy gets the ball a little bit more just because that's the way they're defending us that week, and we like that. We like the fact that we can count on a bunch of different guys to make the plays when needed.
Now, you take on this Bethel team. They give up over 30 points a game, but they've got to come in here sky high after that big win last week.
Oh, Bethel, yeah. They just beat the #1 team in the nation, so they're going to be ready and they're believing, and we just got to make sure we go out and take care of business like we have all year.
When you look at their defense, what concerns you?
Defensively, they're really athletic. They got a good secondary. You don't look at one part of their defense and really see a weakness. They got a lot of guys who can play out there.
But when you get to this part of the year, everybody's good, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Nobody is going to be a cupcake out there. Everybody can play.
It's a long season when you get into the playoffs, but right now I'm sure practices are fun and everybody's focused.
It's always good when you're practicing during Thanksgiving, so that's what you hope for.
Aaron, keep it up. Good luck today.
All right, thank you.
Offensive.
That's offensive coordinator Aaron Christensen. When we come back, we'll talk it over with the head Viking, Paul Troth. That's coming up next on the Viking Sports Network.
Fight back against the high fuel costs with a set of Michelin brand tires. Some of the most fuel-efficient tires available, which helps you save money at the pump mile after mile.
Just moments away from kickoff, Paul Troth joins us. And, Coach, I know you don't think about awards for yourself, but I'll say congratulations, Coach of the Year in the hack. That has to be pretty good feeling for you.
Today's biggest automotive supercenter. There you go.
Well, I had a chance to visit with Coach Paul Troth yesterday, and the first thing I mentioned to the coach was that he was voted by his peers as the conference coach of the year.
Well, I think, yeah, I appreciate that, Q. It's if you have good players and good coaches, and you can once in a while get something like that. So, I think myself, I know, and I think all our players will tell you the same. They'd trade all conference awards for a win and to keep playing. So, that's what our goal is right now is for the team.
24 players made all conference. We'll talk about that after the season then, right? They want to win a couple more football games.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a great honor for them that they're getting recognized by other coaches. But right now, while you're still playing, that all seems kind of secondary. The number one objective is we got to try to find a way to be 1-0 this week and continue our season.
We score over 40 points a game, but over 47 points a game at home. So this offense likes to play at this field right here.
Well, I think everyone likes to play at home. Our kids are no exception to that. And I guess I didn't even realize what our averages were home and away. And, as long as we have one more point than our opponent at the end of the game, then that's all right. But Bethel's going to be a tremendous challenge. And you look at it, there's only 2 teams that have scored more than 24 points against them all year. So they don't give up a lot of points.
Yeah, and they have to come in here just so high after that big one they had last week.
Well, that was a tremendous win for their program. When you go in and you're the last team into the tournament, and you've got to play the number 1 seed right out the gate, and to go to their place and pull off an upset, that was a tremendous win for their kids, and I'm sure they feel a little bit like world beaters right now, so they're going to be very, very dangerous.
What concerns you about them, first of all, their defense?
Well, on defense, I just think they're a hard-nosed, physical defense. The style they play there is very much the style we like to play, so it isn't going to be any surprise to them, and again, you look at their stats, and they do give up a little bit of yardage, but they're not giving up a lot of points, and scoring points is the name of the game. So, that's very concerning. We're going to have to finish drives with points on the board.
And when I look at their offense, they've got a pretty good line, a big line, and they got a guy that weighs about 330 right in the middle of it.
Yeah, their center we think is very, very good. You know, their whole offensive front, they're very physical. They're a run first team, kind of like us. They want to run the ball downhill, off tackle, and do some of those things, and they'll spread it out and mix it around, throw the ball. But their first preference is running, and they've been very successful at it.
Now, we put 56 points on the board, but I know you talked to broadcast partner Joe All afterwards, and what concerned you were the 5 turnovers.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you get to this point in the season, I mean, everybody's good. You're playing good teams, and you know, it doesn't matter what level, high school, college, or professional is, turnovers will get you in trouble against a good team. And we were fortunate enough to overcome them last week, but you know, I don't know that we can do that again. And so we've been really coaching hard this week and made a big emphasis on taking care of the football, and hopefully that'll help us.
All right, that's Paul Troth. He's the head coach of these Vikings. And as we end our interview, the Vikings in all purple take the field, and we're just about ready for this quarterfinal game, NAIA, between the Missouri Valley College Vikings, ranked number 2, and the Bethel Wildcats as they upset number 1. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the starters of the Vikings. That's coming up next on the Viking Sports Network.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's still really soft when you do the interview.
We're just going to have to do it and not worry about it, okay?
All right, sorry.
Just do what we can.
Scholarships in 17 intercollegiate sports. We continue to lead the way not only in the Heart of America Athletic Conference, but also nationally in the NAIA. Call 660-831-4114 or visit moval.edu. Share our tradition. Share our pride. Missouri Valley College in Marshall.
Time now to meet the starters. Let's start with the offensive line.
Jacques Tony, Rockaway Park, New York. Robert Barrington, Jacksonville, Florida.
Roy Wolfram, Winsfield, Missouri.
Dave Stewart, Lebanon, Missouri.
Stephon Kelly, Queens.
Now the offensive receivers.
Chris Owens, St. Louis, Missouri. Alex Benson, Rochester, Minnesota.
Seth Martinko, Odessa, Missouri.
And now the offensive backs.
Bruce Reyes, Beaumont, Texas.
Xavier Stewart, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Belmont Franklin, St. Louis, Missouri.
Now the defensive team, starting with the defensive line.
Trip the Terminator Thomas, Memphis, Tennessee. Todd Phillips, East St. Louis, Illinois.
Nick Pula, San Jose, California.
Now let's meet the linebackers.
Phil Kraft, St. Louis, Missouri.
Danny Reyes, Hesperia, California.
Michael the Machine Hall, St. Charles, Missouri. Andrew Human, Farmington, Missouri.
And now the defensive backs.
TD, STL by way of Oakland, CA. LaQuentin Black, Davis, Oklahoma.
Michael Barnes, Beaumont, Texas. Phil Fowler, San Diego.
So there you have the starting lineups. And, Joe, any thoughts before we get started? I think it's going to be a heck of a football game.
Oh, I think it will be. And they've just flipped the coin. Let's see. It looks like that Bethel won the toss maybe, and they're going to take the ball. So Vikings, once again, will be kicking off, Ken. And I think we've kicked off probably 80% of the time. That's okay. We've got that good defense. But I think it's really important to get off to a good start. This Bethel team is going to be higher than a kite after knocking off Georgetown last week. So we got to come in and get their dauber down early. Let's get on the board early. Let's get them down, and let's take care of this home field advantage.
Now take a look at their offense. They have a good one at center, John Eularia. He is a 6'1", 330-pound sophomore out of Fleming Island, Florida, and he is a good one. Jawan Cox and Dedrick Brooks are the guards, Bernard Galden and Alex Matlock are the tackles. That quarterback is Wilson Masood, and Masood is 6'6", 235. He's going to be tough to bring down.
I watched him warming up. He throws the ball pretty well, too, and he's very well put together. And I'm not sure how well he scrambles, but you're going to have to hit him hard and wrap him up. But you got a guy that big, he can really see across the line, so I'm sure he'll be a lot to contend with.
Masood is 246 yards rushing, and he's 142 out of 239 and 6 interceptions, but 17 touchdown passes. So here we go. We're just about ready for football from Greg Mitchell on this Saturday afternoon. Glad you can join us, and not a bad crowd considering none of the students are here, and it's Thanksgiving weekend, but we hope you enjoy it.
I thought the officials signaled that Bethel was getting the ball, but it looks like they're going to kick it off.
So they're going to kick it off, and the Vikings will get the ball to start things off, and going back deep, LaQuentin Black and Tyler Davis.
Be nice to break one right off the start, you know it.
The Wildcats know all about that. What an exciting game that had to be last
that sounds like that last 2 minutes was ESPN highlight time.
So here we go. The quarterfinal game about to get underway. And kicking it off for the Wildcats will be Robbie Phillips. Phillips, a 6-footer, 180 pounds. All white uniforms with the gold helmets, the purple trim for the Wildcats. The Vikings in all purple with the orange helmets. Phillips, a left-handed kicker, into the football, and this game is underway, and this one spins to Tyler Davis to the 5. Davis to the 10. He's to the 20. Good special teams play, and he's down at the 25-yard line. Sandwich there. That's where the Vikings will take over at their own 25-yard line.
Deshaun Gibson and also Brandon Sherritt there on the stop for Bethel. So we're underway. Vikes get it out to the 30, 1st and 10, just underway.
Bruce Reyes is the quarterback. His numbers, 134 out of 219 with 7 interceptions and 14 touchdowns. He averages about 188 yards passing a game. Xavier Stewart is the running back. Delvon Franklin, the H-back. Seth Martinko, Alex Benson, the wide receivers. Chris Owens is the tight end. And working out of the pistol on 1st down from the 25-yard line as a man goes in motion. That is Jonathan Bird. And they want to throw on 1st down, and it's a very short throw for about 2 yards out to Alex Benson. And not much there. It'll be 2nd down and 10, 2nd down and about 8 coming up.
Yeah, Jockwell Skinner, a junior, the defensive back there to make the hit for Bethel. But you say gain him about, let's say maybe 2 on the play. So 2nd and 8 for the Vikes. Quick huddle, Vikes up, ready to go.
Vikings working off the left hash mark. Tight end again is Chris Owens. He moves now to the left side of the formation, and they want to run the ball to Stewart. Stewart looking for a hole, and he gets across the 30 to the 31, a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Martinko checks in. Mikkel Johnson and Benson come out. The offensive line, Jock Toney and Stephon Kelly are the tackles. Rob Barrington, Dave Stewart, the guards. Roy Wolfram is at center.
Going to be about 3rd and 6 for the Vikings. Not much running room that time for Xavier Stewart. The right side of that Bethel defense did a good job containing that play.
So 3rd down at about, let's call it 6 from the 31-yard line. Reyes rolls to his left, throws it deep to Martinko, and he can't come up with a one-handed catch at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Double coverage there, so 3 and out, and the Vikings will have to punt on their first possession as Jason Maiden will come in to punt it away.
And I think Bruce might have been able to run for that 1st down. I'm not sure. He did a pretty good job rolling to the outside, the ball just out of the reach of the outstretched hand of Martinko. And I'll tell you what, kid, if Martinko, any way he can pull it down, he's going to do it. He's been a very good receiver.
So it's going to be a punting situation for Maiden, the young man from Carrollton, and back deep to receive it is Jerron Reynolds. We know all about his ability. Low snap, and here's a low line drive, and Reynolds comes up, lets it bounce, and the Vikings are going to down it at the 30-yard line. The Quentin Black that downs it there. So the Viking defense, the number 1 ranked defense, takes the field against a very potent offense as Wilson Massoud will lead this offensive unit out on the field. Cordarius Mann is the starting running back. Justin Brandy and Michael Newbern are the wide receivers. B.A. Davis, the fullback, and Cameron Faulkner is the tight end.
You talk about, is that John Ilaria? Is he the center, 330 pounds?
Yes.
Big man right in the middle of that line.
Good. He is a good one. On 1st down, Massoud takes the snap, rolls to his left, pumps once, throws, and he has got a receiver wide open across the 40 out to about the 43-yard line. And that was Jerron Reynolds out of Chattanooga, the junior, and that's a 12-yard gain and a 1st down.
Yeah, Massoud had quite a bit of time to throw that time. Great protection by that Bethel offensive line. He found the receiver open on a little bit of out pattern, so a nice first play for Bethel at the 43.
Travis Smith now in at that running back spot, so a 12-yard gain on 1st down. Massoud may be changing the play, and he's directing traffic.
He's going to line up under center this time, I think.
Brings B.A. Davis, his fullback, back behind him in an I formation. They'll hand the ball off, and a big hole across the 50, all the way down to the Viking 42-yard line goes Travis Smith. Smith, a 235-pound junior out of Miami, Florida, and wow, did he have some room to run. I mentioned Bernard Galden Jawan Cox. Mentioned that center they have, John Eularia, Dedrick Brooks, and Alex Matlock, and they really sealed off the Vikings defense on that play.
Tyler Davis rolled him under, but not till a nice gain. So 2 plays, 2 first downs for Bethel here in the early going.
Out of the empty backfield, back to throw is Massoud. They throw the wide receiver screen. Another good gain of about 9 yards. This one to Justin Brandy. So everything they've wanted to do to this point has worked as they throw that wide receiver screen, and that is about a 9-yard gain. The Vikings up front have Trip Thomas, Leon Jackson, and Ty Phillips. Phil Kraft, DeMarcus Blackman, Mike Hall, and Andrew Human, the linebackers. Tyler Davis, Michael Barnes, Philip Fowler, and Quentin Black. But it is 2nd down and 2 as they are moving the football. Now there's movement, and I believe Bernard Galden is going to be called for procedure, and that'll help the Vikings out just a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be a 5-yarder. They had 2nd down at about 2, so that's going to back it back 5 yards, make it 2nd down and 7. So better situation for the Vikings. Ball sitting right on the Missouri Valley 39-yard line. So 3 productive plays for Bethel here in the early going. Viking defense needs to step up and make a play here.
Ball back to the 34-yard line of Valley. We're just underway, 12:20 to go in the first quarter, no score. Under center, Massoud sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. They'll hand it off. The Vikings will stop that play after a short gain as Travis Smith trying to find a hole between the hash marks to bring up 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, looked like Ty Phillips also looked like in on the stop of the Vikings, Leon Jackson. So this is 3rd down, looks like 3rd down and 4. So a big play here in the early going. Ball on the 36-yard line. Bethel with possession, no score.
They have to get to the Viking 32-yard line to pick up a 1st down. Massoud throws it that way, and it's dropped. He had it into the arms of Justin Brandy. He had to go down low to get it and could not hang on. It'll be 4th down, and I don't see a punting unit coming out. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Good pressure that time by Andrew Human as well as Ty Phillips for the Vikes. So Massoud had to throw that ball a little bit quicker than I think he wanted to. So big play right here. They are going to go for it, 4th down. So Vikes can hold. They'll get it with good field position.
Crowd getting on their feet to cheer for their defense as Massoud will work out of the empty backfield from the 36-yard line. Vikings show blitz. Now they back out of it. Here they come up the middle after Massoud. He throws on the run. It's knocked away by LaQuentin Black, and the Vikings take over on down.
What a play by LaQuentin Black, Ken. The receiver had the inside track, and LaQuentin just kind of reached around. I don't think he made any contact. Got that big right hand on the ball and knocked it away. So once again, as has happened all year, a Viking quarterback, Viking defensive back steps up and makes a big play.
Here's the defense for the Wildcats. We didn't get a chance to mention that. Craig Witt and Joey Denier are the defensive ends. Damani Taylor is the nose guard. Adam Funk, Anthony DeBonis, Tyler Murray, and Kyle Whiteman are the linebackers. Stoney Burns, Chase Graham, and Darian Jones, and Jaquel Skinner, the defensive backs. 1st down, Vikings, zone 36. Reyes back to throw over the middle. Completes it to Chris Owens. Owens with a stiff arm across midfield, and he's run out of bounds on the far side of the field in the Wildcat territory at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Chris Owens across the middle as he does so well catches, and a great job by Chris running after he made that catch. Gets the ball all the way down to the 45-yard line. Not a complicated pass, but a very effective one, and the Vikings have their first down of the game.
Joe, I'd really like to see them use Chris Owens more and more in this ball game today.
Got good hands, and he's a big receiver.
Ball is at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. 1st down. Delvon Franklin in the backfield along with Stewart, and they hand it to Stewart. They run the student body right, and there's nowhere to go as a good pursuit by the Wildcats. The tackle is finally made by Joey Denier, but very little gain on the play.
Yeah, Denier, 6'4", 255-pound defensive lineman. He stretched that play to the outside and made a nice stop. So that's going to be absolutely no gain. Ball just shy of the 45. 2nd and 10 for Vikings. 10:50 to go in the first quarter, no score.
Vikings for the first time in Wildcat territory. Mikael Johnson goes in motion from right to left out of the pistol. Play action. Reyes rolls that way, and now he's going to take off. Reyes to the 40 and pulled down at the 40-yard line outside the left hash mark. So that's a nice gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Bruce showed he can run. He's done that all season long. The tackle that time by one of the linebackers, that was Anthony DeBonis, the 5'9", 206-pounder there to make the stop. But that's a gain of about 5 for Reyes. So the ball right around the 40. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Vikings.
No score. 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter, but a big 3rd down play coming up for Valley. Martinko will go wide to the right side. Reyes in the backfield. On 3rd down, here comes the blitz, and there was contact. Reyes throws it toward Benson, but there was contact. Now another shove by Joey Denier. But
let's see if somebody moved or was all. It looked like offsides to me.
I think it almost has to be. The defender came through. He's anticipating a blitz.
Yeah.
And that was David Wheeler.
Offsides, yeah, offside. That's what I thought it was. That should be a 1st down, at least be right at a 1st down.
Yeah, David Wheeler just came across and touched one of the linemen. He was anticipating the snap count, and he didn't get it right.
Yeah, it's a Viking 1st down, ball all the way down to the 35-yard line, so let's see if we can take advantage of this.
KMMO Marshall, Stretch Internet, livestream.com. Glad you can be with us for football today. Second penalty of the afternoon. They've both been big penalties against the Wildcats. Vikings have a 1st down at the 35-yard line on their second drive of the day. Reyes out of the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off to Stewart. He finds a hole. Stewart straight ahead, gets inside the 30. And Xavier is down to about the 27-yard line. That's the best running play of the day. It'll bring up 2nd down and shorts.
Adam Funk, number 13, a senior linebacker there to make the hit for Bethel. He tripped him up, but a pretty nice gain that time as Xavier picks up 7 yards. So got a lot of options now. 2nd down and 3. Let's see what the Vikings do. Ball inside the 30.
This Bethel defense gives up 390 yards of offense a game. 30.3 points. 2nd down. Here's the wide receiver screen. They get it out to Benson. Benson looking for a block. He's close to a 1st down. And now he's pushed back, but he got the 25-yard line, so he'll be short of a 1st down by about a yard.
7 guys on the tackle. I'm not about to try to call off all those numbers that time.
Well, that's just good pursuit defense.
Initial tackle on the play, number 33, David Wheeler.
They're going to give the initial tackle that I hear to David Wheeler.
Yeah, good pursuit by the Bethel defense. Benson, nice job holding on to the ball and kept scrambling to the very end to get extra yards. So Vikes very close to that 1st down. That ball sitting right on the 25-yard line, so 3rd and very short. And Lenoris Duke's in the game now.
Lenoris in for the first time. He of the short yardage variety most of the time for the Vikings. Vikings need less than a yard, and Reyes is going to roll now.
I think Lenoris took he called timeout. I thought Lenoris maybe took a step, but they called a timeout at the last minute.
So Paul Troth is out on the field talking to the officials. The Vikings, or did they get the timeout? Paul's still talking to the linesman. Yeah, the Vikes got a timeout. No score, 8:09, 1st quarter. We're back in 30 seconds on the Viking Sports Network.
Erica here with Domino's Pizza in Marshall. Excited football season is here. For all you Missouri Valley College Viking fans, take advantage of our Viking special here at Domino's. Every Saturday, the Viking football team plays.
Morningside's winning convincingly.
That's right.
St. Francis, Marion sounds like a good game.
Carry out only. Where can you get great pizza half off? Right here at Domino's in Marshall. So save yourself money every Saturday with our Viking special and save yourself time by ordering online to Domino's.com or call 886-6565. Good luck to the Vikings in today's game.
Well, we have 2 other scores from quarterfinal action. Morningside in Sioux City ahead of Southern Oregon 28-14 late in the 2nd quarter. And the other game that started at noon, Marion, Indiana, leading St. Francis 10-7. That game again late 2nd quarter. Cumberland, St. Xavier, that game just kicking off.
Boy, Morningside, 28 points in the first 2 quarters. They must have that offense rolling.
They have it going in Sioux City today. 3rd down and less than a yard. Lenoris Duke straight ahead for the 1st down as Lenoris goes inside the 25, gets down to the 22. That was a quick hitter. There was nothing fancy about that play, but it's a 1st down.
Yeah, Jokel Stewart along with Tyler Murray there on the stop for Bethel, but that's enough for 1st down as Lenoris does what he does so well, just lowered that head, kept the knees churning, and picks up some valuable yardage. And I tell you, Ken, he's tough to stop on a short yardage situation.
So it's 1st down for the Vikings as they have the ball at the 22-yard line of the Wildcats. No score, 7:52 first quarter. Second time the Vikings have had the ball. They'll hand it off to Stewart. Stewart looking for a hole, gets inside the 20 to the 19, and then it collapses on him, and it looks like Craig Witt led the tacklers, big number 94, a 245-pound junior.
Craig Witt had tongue-tied there, and Darian Jones there to make the stop. But let's call it a gain of a couple on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings. Ball's going to be just inside of the 20-yard line. Vikes in Bethel territory. No score, 7:20 to go in the first quarter.
The semifinal matches next Saturday. Both these teams hope to be there. 2nd down, long 7. Out of the pistol, Reyes, low snap, takes it, hands it off to Dukes. Lenoris gets close to the 15-yard line, and they will mark it there at about the 16, actually. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3. Clock moving. Fast first quarter, 6:54 to go.
Pretty nice hole there, but Bethel did a good job of closing it down. So it's going to be a gain of, let's call it a gain of about 4. So it's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings. Ball right on the 15-yard line.
Fabian Miramontes, all-conference kicker, is warming up on the sideline. Let's hope we have to use him for an extra point, not a field goal.
we need 6 here if we can.
I think this team's going to put a bunch of points up, so the Vikings need to score touchdowns. 3rd down as Reyes will take the snap. 2-step throws over the middle. He's got it to Martinko into the end zone. Touchdown Vikings. Little slant pattern to Seth Martinko. Reyes right on the money, and the Vikings score first.
The Odessa product comes through again. Just a nice little look in. Martinko right across the middle. Bruce Reyes hit him in great stride. And once again, the young man comes up with a great play, and Vikings on the board quick.
And Bruce had all kinds of time to wait for that pass to come open. That's how good the protection was. 6-0 Vikings on the pass from Reyes to Martinko. Now Miramontes, with Thornton holding, will attempt the extra point. Ball down, kick is on the way. It's up, and this one is through. He missed a couple last week, missed one and had one blocked, but that one is good. 7-0 Vikings, 6:21 to go first quarter on the Viking Sports Network.
The City of Marshall would like to congratulate the Missouri Valley Vikings on another great season. Thanks for all the excitement. Missouri Valley College and the City of Marshall have enjoyed a solid relationship over many, many years, and the city looks forward to many more. One of the great assets of Marshall is Missouri Valley College. The City of Marshall is very proud to have Missouri Valley College in our heritage. From the students to the staff, educators, and administration, Missouri Valley College is an important part of our city. I'm Connie Latimer saying, go Vikings.
Not a bad crowd. Of course, the students, a lot of the students not here, but other than that, the Vikings have a good crowd here today. And they score first, leading 7-0. The Vikings, I think this was an interesting stat, Joe. The Vikings average 40.3 points a game, but they score over 47 a game here at home, so they like the home cooking.
And I think getting that first touchdown, that's huge. In a playoff game like this, when nerves can be high and both teams trying to kind of feel each other out here in the early going, to get that 7 points on the board, like you said, we needed 7 instead of 3, and that's exactly what happened.
Cordarius Mann and Jerron Reynolds back deep. These two guys can tie a game in a hurry. Miramontes will kick into the southerly breeze. Temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon. Miramontes into the football. And this is returnable for Reynolds. Reynolds takes it right side across the 10 to the 20, and he's tripped up at the 25-yard line. And I think that was
Dominique McDonald. Dominique, a great special teams player. He's done it all year long for this Viking team. And Dominique doesn't start on defense, but does play on all those special teams. He comes in on defense. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 206 pounds, and he got downfield to make a nice hit that time.
Vikes lead it 7-0. Ball at the 25-yard line. At halftime, I'll visit with Eric Montgomery. Eric is the sports information director for the Heart of America Conference, and we'll visit about all the fall sports in the HAC. So
and you mentioned Reynolds. He's the guy that returned that touchdown to beat Georgetown last week, wasn't
he? He is a good one. First down. Massoud at quarterback, man in motion, and that is Reynolds, and he's got some room. Reynolds across the 30, up the sideline, bumped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Boy, they get it to their playmaker, and I mean, that man was heading around the corner, got a nice seal block, and finally bumped out by LaQuentin Black and also Michael Barnes, but not before he gets all the way out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Reynolds was the motion man that time, took that handoff right in stride. A nice job on that left side to get him to the corner. When he did, he had great running room.
Both first down from the 41-yard line. Masood turns, throws to the sideline. That pass is complete, and that'll be a decent gain as they throw it out into the flat onto the right side and get it out there to Trevonta Thomas.
Nice tackle by Philip Fowler. Philip was blocked on the play. Somehow he dove out of that block and made a shoestring tackle, but gain of about 4 on the play. Ball right on the 45-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Boy, they throw it all over the place, don't they?
They seem to.
Second down, Masood. Now they want to hand it off. The Vikings are there. They stop that play.
Zach
Thomas with a hit in the backfield on Cordarius Mann, and that is a huge loss.
We said this all year long, but Zach right down the road at Sweet Springs, a nice young man. His dad works at KMMO, Jack Thomas, and boy, what a nice play that time by Zach. That was a big one. Now instead of 2nd and 1 or 2, you got 3rd and about 13.
3rd down and 13 for the Wildcats after the loss on that running play by Mann. Masood, Vikings showing blitz. Now they back away. We're down to 7 on the play clock. Vikings wanted a blitz. Thomas in a 2-point stance. Here he comes around the side. They throw it out there. It is complete, and Human knocks him out of bounds short of the first down. They did complete the pass, but Andrew Human was there and got the receiver out of bounds short of the first down.
Looks like it's going to be 4th down, and I'm saying about 3.
They're going.
Yeah, ball's just shy of the 50-yard line, right about the 48-yard. I think they've got to kick it here.
Well, first they didn't bring that punting unit on. I'm going, wow, but they're going to punt this one away. So good job by the Viking defense, and Zach Thomas made the big play, and then the Vikings do not let him get the first down. So a punt coming up for Matt Kramer. Kramer out of Jacksonville, Florida, averages about 35 yards of punt.
Tyler Davis back in single safety for the Vikes. He'll stand back about his own 10-yard line to receive this kick.
Kramer waits, good snap. A little rugby-style punt, and he kicks it away from Tyler Davis. There is a flag down. Davis going to let this run roll, and it's going to be down. Oh, it went into the end zone.
Wow, we got a break there.
I thought the Wildcats were going to down at the 1, but at the last moment, the ball just kind of scooted underneath the fingertips of one of the defenders into the end zone. Well, let's see what this penalty is first.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be down on about the 2-foot line there for a minute.
Here's the call on the penalty. Big penalty here. False start.
Penalty to be first down.
False start for Valley, so it is a first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we didn't need that.
No. We're going to punt the ball, and the Vikings had somebody offside.
Wow.
Wow.
That's going to take it into Viking territory down about the 47. So the Viking defense held, but with the penalty, those are the kind of mistakes you really don't need any time, but really don't need them in a game like this.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but yeah, you're not going to rush the punt. You just need to make sure they punt the ball. Well, it's a first down for Masood and company at the 47-yard line of the Vikings. Masood takes the snap. They hand it off, and a very short gain for Travis Smith. He gets down to about the 46, working right along the right hash mark.
Yeah, tackle on that play by Saya Montalea made the stop for the Vikings. Is a short gain of a short 2 on the play. Ball just shy of the 41, 2nd down, and let's call it a long 8 for Bethel.
3:54 to go in the first quarter. Vikings leading 7-0. Now under center is Masood, Wilson Masood. He is a senior. He's a good one. Back to throw. All kinds of time. Throws, and he's got a receiver. Makes the catch and then ducks underneath the tackle by Michael Barnes, and that is Michael Newbern, his 25th catch of the year.
We'll give credit to that play to the offensive line of Bethel. They gave Masood a lot of time to throw. He looked over the field and found the receiver open. So nice job that time by the offensive line as he takes it all the way down inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
What a battle. Nick Fula against John Eularia right in the middle of everything. Nose guard against center. First down at the 33-yard line for Masood and the Wildcats. Out of the I formation, they'll throw a pass out in the flat, and it's incomplete. As they tried to get that pass completed to Justin Hazelray, and blocking on the play was Newbern, but the pass was incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, let's hope that penalty doesn't come back and haunt the Vikings. So many times when something like that happens, it comes back to shoot you in the foot. So let's see what happens.
So 2nd down and 10, ball at the 33. Again, out of the I formation. Man goes in motion. Back to throw. Play action. Rushes on. He skips away from it, throws, and completes the pass for a good gain inside the 20, all the way down to about the 17-yard line to Justin Brandy. Vikings had a shot at Masood, and he just stepped away from it, and it's a first down at the 13-yard line. Let's see. They're going to mark it at the right around the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you, it's funny to watch Masood. He stands 6'6", but he takes that direct snap. Look how low he gets to take that snap. He's pretty agile for a big guy.
Well, it's first down at the 15-yard line, trying to use this penalty to tie the game are the Wildcats. And on first down, Masood rolls again, throws to the sideline. He's got it, and that's close to a touchdown. It may be a touchdown as they throw it to B.A. Davis coming out of the backfield. And they're say stepped out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Well, Masood, a nice fake that time, got some room to roll to the right side, and as you said, found B.A. Davis on a little bit of an out pattern. So the Bethel Ball Club trying to tie this thing up. We're down to 2:49 to go here in the first quarter. Vikings lead at 7-0 here at home.
But again, that 5-yard penalty make all the difference here late in the first quarter. 2:41 to go. It's 7-0. But the Wildcats are threatening at 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Masood turns, hands the ball off, and Smith close to the 3-yard line. Now he's shoved back. They'll probably give him the 3. Travis Smith, he goes 235. Mann is at 160. He's a little guy. B.A. Davis at 220.
That just looked like one big brawl in the middle of the field on that play. All kinds of guys fighting and scrambling. Looks like no gain on the play, so the Viking defense did a pretty good job. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Ball just inside the 4-yard line.
Masood has shown the ability to throw on the run. The Wildcats have it 2nd and goal. Masood under center, hands it off to Smith again to the goal line. He's going to be held short, be about the 1-yard line, I think. Yeah, he's at the 1 or inside the 1. There's one of the Bethel players is down, maybe one of those big linemen down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from about the 1.
I tell you, Travis Smith, he's a load. They list him at 5'9", 235 pounds. He's a junior. Boy, he's a load to bring down inside, but the Vikings did a good job of keeping him away from pay dirt. And like you said, looks like one of the offensive linemen down right now. I'm not sure if that might be the big guy.
Center.
That's
the big
guy.
John Ularia, the center, is down in the end zone. And that is John Ularia, number 71, the 6'1", 30-pound sophomore out of Fleming Island, Florida.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, and they are working on him. So we'll take a break. It'll be 3rd and goal. 1:34 to go in the first quarter. The Vikings lead at 7-0, but the Wildcats are threatening, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Viking Sports Network.
Marshall Isle Score when you sign up for a new Marshall Isle Score debit card at Community Bank. I'm Robbie Fuchs. Sign up today for our free Marshall Isle debit card. With each use, the Marshall School System will receive a donation. Other account features include custom out checks, free online banking, including bill pay, and more. Stop in any location for details and sign up for the Marshall Isle Scorecard account today. Community Bank of Marshall. Community banking, the way it's meant to be. Member FDIC.
Well, the Vikings defenders with their backs to the goal line. It is 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
We need a motion penalty. Motion penalty right here is what we need.
Well, you have a new center in there right now, so who knows? Let's see what'll happen. Nick Allen is the new center. 3rd and goal, 1-yard line. And it looks like Masood will work out of the shotgun. He will, standing back at the 6-yard line. Takes the snap. He wants to keep it, and he gets close to the goal line. The Vikings shove him back. Masood at 6'6" was trying to run to the left, and Blackman and company stopped him short. In fact, a loss of a yard. It looks like the field goal unit's coming out.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't line up and take a direct snap that time. They're down inside the 1. They've got Smith, the big running back, and I think everybody pretty well knew what Masood was going to do, and the Vikings had great pursuit. So, boy, let's hope this isn't a fake right here, but nice stand by the Vikings.
Robbie Phillips will attempt the extra point. Phillips, a left-handed kicker. The ball is on the left hash mark. This will be a 24-yard attempt. Ball down. Kick is on the way, and he missed it. Can you believe it? The Vikings It was 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Wildcats, and it was 3rd and goal from the 2. They tried to run it to the outside, didn't get it, and now they miss a field goal. And for Robbie Phillips, Joe, he's just 5 out of 13 field goal attempts this year.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. We need to take advantage of that now. We've got the ball at the 20-yard line, so need to take advantage. Vikings lead at 7-0. We're inside of a minute, about 37 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Vikings dodge a huge bullet that time.
Chris Elliott, his first year as the head coach of the Wildcats. He's been with the program, I believe, for 9 or 10 years. And really a nice man. Had a chance to visit with him last week. I know he's disappointed on the sideline. Reyes over the middle, and that ball is bobbled. Oh, man, Chris Owens, if he could have caught that, had some room to run. But it was a bullet, and he couldn't hang on to it, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
You know, I think Chris was too open that time. Normally he's used to catching that ball in heavy traffic, and he doesn't drop very many. But a nice throw by Reyes. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Jacoby Bellard checks into the game. But the Vikings, regardless of what they do on this drive, really dodged one there. No points out of that for the Wildcats. 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line late first quarter. As the Wildcats showing blitz. Reyes takes the snap. They hand it off to Stewart. He's got some room. Looks for a block. Oh, man, and that closed in a hurry, and he is tackled at the 21-yard line. He had some blockers out in front, but shooting through there and making the tackle, it looked like Adam Funk.
Adam Funk, a senior linebacker out of McKenzie, Tennessee, right where the school's located. He came through and knocked Stewart down in his tracks. That's a gain of 1 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Vikings. See, I thought that was going to be about a 7 or 8 yard gain when it started out.
But Funk somehow got through those blockers and made the play, and that's going to do it for a fast-moving first quarter. Vikings leading 7-0. NAIA quarterfinal action from Greg Mitchell Field. We're back with quarter number 2 in 30 seconds on the Viking Sports Network.